you controlled the fight from the beginning. You had an early lead, and then you got super aggressive because you wanted to finish it off. And Gadlick really played into that, man. He was really baited you in, kited you in, held his position whenever you were pushing, and really punished you for it. Good plays all the way around, but you just gotta maintain the composure all the way to the end. GG's all the way through, man. That was fun. That was fun to watch. All right, 20 monsters in this lobby. Let's go, let's go. Let's go, let's go, let's go. That way. Outriders. Why does that game sound so familiar to me? I think I've been seeing a lot of stuff about Outriders. Is that the third-person over-the-shoulder shooter made by the Gears of War people? Is that the same? Is that the same game? I've been seeing a lot of stuff about that. It looked really good. If that's the same game. Should have corroded more. Yeah, corroded is definitely, if you have it, definitely use it. Very strong. Or corrosive puddles or whatever it's called. If that's what you're talking about. 22. Let's turn the music up a little bit, man. Oh, it's already started. Let's go. All right, 22 monsters. 22 monsters have made it into the ring. Yep. Corrosion. Yep. Agreed. You're such a smart player, Gay Pineapples. You'd be a great coach. You know your stuff, dude. You know your stuff. Except for when you're wrong, then you're not a good coach. But other than that, you're pretty good. All right, let's go. Wait. No, Pyro's not OP. What? No. What? No. Oh, jeez. I take it all back, man. I take it all back. What have I done? Give them an inch and they take a mile. Oh, I wanted it so bad. That would have been such a nice fit. Wait, hold on. Oh! Oh, don't ever play with your food, you guys. Don't ever play with your food. Oh, no. Stop playing with your food. Why did I do it? Oh. You should always assume that you're fighting somebody like Cozy, man. I always act like an idiot. Why do I do that? Oh, man. I swear, guys. I can't. Elevator Middle coming through with an exile on the Magazine Fever as Scarecrow Boyfriend comes through with a take out Duck song from the game. Fireball after fireball coming from Cozy, but does not connect until finally coming through with a toxic slap to secure the one down onto Dan the Professional. Schmaloop taking out Computer Dog with a little bit of the spam. Yeah, right, Plop. Shut your mouth, Plop. Don't even say it, Plop. Why do I have to? I still have to check. I know you're lying. But I still have to look. I would lose my mind. Plop, I would lose it, dude. I would lose it. If you can dodge a wrench, you can dodge a toxic cloud. What's up, Trap? Trap anime. What's going on, baby? Plopacuzzi, I hate you for that. Spook's coming through with 3 exiles out of the 5 on the kill feed. We see Small Pharma Houdini's left shoe, and Wonder Kid all falling to the man himself. Spooky, spooky, spook. All the loot all around, collecting it all up, getting nice upgrades, and finding himself the best of gear that's amongst all of this stuff laying on the ground. Want to find no dubitably nasty, throwing out some lightning damage from a long range, as they have been able to take out at least one player from this game. Looking for the second one, though. Detective Baldman does fall to Cozy, and Cozy will not stop his momentum and his speed as he plows his way through this lobby and makes his way closer and closer to that in-game circle. And now it looks like the Tempest player by the name of 4PF will come in close to deal with this conduit by the name of, I can't remember who we were just looking at. Fireball's coming in, as it looks like the Tempest will be able to sidestep most of the damage, but finally getting tagged by a little bit of lightning damage, as he does stop for just a second and uses that line of sight to be able to heal up before he pushes on any closer. Definitely a good player, because most of these players that are like competitive players, they don't want to fight at all if they have any kind of resources missing. So definitely think this is probably a player that's been playing for a while, and they just got a name change. I don't know who it is, though. Coming on in to find a lot of damage out on the Mark of Angels, but did lose focus on the conduit he was fighting there before. Does take all the damage onto the armor, and now third party coming in with a boulder and a fireball to put more and more pressure onto our Tempest. Only 50 HP remains as he does jump off the ground to stay safe and sound from the shockwave, but oh no, turns to look ahead and finds himself between a rock and a hard place. Very, very unfortunate. Moderator, the winner from the previous round, the moderator himself, coming back through on the Stone Shaper class, picking up one exile so far, but making his way into the safe zone as he's able to loot up and keep a good close eye on anybody potentially coming out of the storm. Lil Hustle being one with the bush, finds himself completely, with nature in this bush, and it looks like we found out exactly how Lil Hustle has been able to win multiple rounds tonight. Oh, what? I believe Sonata literally just walked right past Little Hustle as Little Hustle was AFK in a bush. Oh my gosh. Gay Pineapples with 0 exiles as he does jump on top of the rock to find a little bit of a line of sight vision here to find the conduit on top of this mountain, and keeps himself safe as he does hide behind this little bit of cover.
Shamrock, one 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 Trapantunani.
Let's go! All right, we got Gay Pineapples going up in the sky and finding a very, very above head position. It's going to be beautiful for getting that scouting going on, figuring out exactly where everybody is and what they're doing, and also choosing your engagement. It's going to be very, very important to stay safe while doing some big damage and securing those exiles. Gadlick TTV coming through with a shockwave onto their opponent as Sherlock Bones. That's right, Sherlock Bones, dude, going down in the kill feed. And now Scott Daddy, aka Thick Fattiest Daddy, Fatty Daddy, I don't know, Scott Daddy coming through on the Stone Shaper, and it looks like the pressure is on as he throws down a nice little firewall to break that fortitude, and also a little bit of damage onto the armor of this pursuing opponent now. Lightning Gauntlet coming out as Scott Daddy does use the best of his ability to use this landscape to stay out of the line of sight, and it's going to be very, very beautiful movement coming from the Stone Shaper here to stay right out of the line of sight from that conduit player and right away from that lightning gauntlet. Oh my gosh, Scott Daddy, here's the Frost Lance being charged on top of the tower, and Scott literally creeps around and waits it out until the player drops and gets tagged by some big shockwaves. Up in the air they go, as the Frostborn will allow them to hover for just a little bit longer than you would be able to otherwise, and Scott Daddy does take a lot of damage for his trouble, but now closing the gap with that dash rune and puts out some more damage with a shockwave. This player with the Frost Lance is very, very low, but so is Scott Daddy. If he gets tagged here, he might be gone. He does get tagged down to 5 HP, and Black Arrow comes in to clean up the kill. Saucy Steven going down, and Scott Daddy down to 5 HP and 4 armor, running for his life as he sidesteps the Toxic Slap over and over, successfully evading the incoming damage. If he gets tagged one time, it is over for him, and there we go. It does eventually happen as Scott Daddy does get engulfed by the Toxic Cloud. 4 exiles down, and on the tippity top of the tallest hill in the final circle, finds a player down below and instantly gets rid of that fortitude with some wind spam, followed up by some nice little fire walls of his own. Stops for just a second as he does have the high ground and come to get that armor back up quickly, but chooses to push on in with that beautiful, beautiful little Tempest sorcery to hold that player close and potentially get a nice little fire nail damage out. But actually the player uses the rune to get off of the action and actually able to retreat down the wall, hill a little bit and get a little bit of safety. Toxic Slap's coming in on the Spooks as Spooks does choose to close the gap a little bit with that dash rune, and does come off of his high ground. Very, very surprised that Spooks actually left the high ground there. It's important to have that position, but also I'm thinking maybe he realizes how much attention you'll have if you're on that high ground position, and also the storm is pushing in, so that's probably another big factor, as Spooks definitely did not want to have to fight it out with the Spell Storm dealing damage as well. Shmalup coming through with an exile on the Gallic. TTV is 8 players are all that remains, and Spooks throws down a beautiful little firewall to keep himself safe and sound from the incoming damage from this player. Now on the low ground, but doesn't matter as this player is also on the same elevation, but man, oh man, it maybe does matter as Spooks gets dropped in on in the blink of an eye. Big damage coming out from the Toxicologist, and Spooks will lose all of the armor down to 72 HP, and now Shadow Step around the corner has Spooks spooked a little bit. Jumps down to find some more cover and wants to get the heal off, but it's not going to work, as that player is still way too close for comfort. Frostlands coming out as Spooks does get tagged big time, and eventually will get taken out of the game as Cozy does hit those and take Spooks right out of this one and into the next one. Jeez Louise. Elevated Middle with an exile onto Crunch, and that's going to be a shockwave that makes it happen, and Cozy hears the sound of the charging Frostlance, and instantly into the cloud he goes. Knows exactly what that sound means. A lot of us wake up in cold sweats each night when we hear that Frostlance getting charged, and you can tell that Cozy definitely has the same affliction. Elevated Middle taking out Crunch, like I said, in the kill feed, and Cozy finding himself right up behind this player with a beautiful Toxic Slap to start the fight off. Frostlance being used, comes through and almost connects. I mean, barely misses that opponent as they drop to the ground, and now Cozy getting a little bit of pressure coming in from that third party from behind. Cozy into a couple of clouds to get an extended Vanishing Mist movement, and now using that Shadow Step yet again to make sure he repositions stealthily, and Black Arrow finds himself with 4 exiles on the scoreboard, also playing the Toxicologist, running that Fortitude, Thirsty, and Runic Floats. It's going to be a little bit of a different build here, but definitely still going to be a very strong build. Black Arrow finds the gamer coming up. And as they do come up to meet Black Arrow on his high ground, they definitely going to get punished a little bit for it, as Black Arrow throws out a little bit of Toxic Slaps. Really nasty, going down to Cozy in the kill feed, and only 5 players here remain in this final circle. And I got to get a drink. All right, Black Arrow with a beautiful position here as he is right above this opponent, not in the position where he's kind of getting collapsed by a lot of people. He's really using that spring step very well to stay above head and into a favorable position to throw down those fireballs, throw down those toxic clouds, and get some nice DF damage. Finds a gamer down here in the doorway and cannot do damage. No, that should have been such an easy cleanup. Should have been such an easy cleanup kill there for Black Arrow, but he just whiffs both of his shots. The first Toxic Gauntlet Puddle just doesn't hit, and then the Firewall placement just doesn't hit either. It will be Cozy that eventually comes through to clean up an exile onto Sonata, and only 4 players remain. But Black Arrow able to stay safe and sound, not able to get any damage out right now, not really able to exile anymore or secure any more exiles, but he is safe and sound, he is healed up, and he's really in a safe spot. We see Elevated Middle closing the gap, holds the sorcery for a little bit too long and gets in trouble for it, but is able to put out quite a bit of damage onto this player that was just healing up in front of him and had no idea that he was there. Elevated Middle going down to less than 20 HP. Less than 30 HP, and now using that Stone Shaper sustain to slam the ground and get some of that armor back, but will not be enough HP or armor to survive against the shot coming in from Shmalup. Elevated Middle out of the game, and only 3 players remain, as Shmalup on the Toxicologist does get pressured a little bit, has to go down to the low ground and find a little bit of a place to hide, as there will be no resources here in terms of consumables for Shmalup to fight with at all. This armor and this HP, that's all you get for Shmalup. Pushes on in to find himself face to face with a Fortitude gamer and throws out a quick couple of Toxic Slaps to get rid of that talent, and also but a little bit of armor damage. Frostlands coming in from the outside as Cozy does try to tag Shmalup, and into the Vanishing Mist, Shmalup goes into a quick flick of the Frostlands as Black Arrow does get taken out of the game, and it looks like Shmalup would have been killed there, would have instantly been exiled, but now we got a 1v1 happening. It's about to pop off. And here we go, the fight has started, as it looks like Cozy will instantly go into that Vanishing Mist like we see pretty much every single time. And just look at the counter Shadow Steps. He Shadow Steps, then he Shadow Steps, then he Shadow Steps, then he Shadow Steps. Toxic Slaps coming out, but it looks like Cozy will fall to Shmalup as he lands a quick flick of the Frostlance at the last second. I really thought that Shmalup was about to die, because I thought that the sorcery cooldown was about to be over, and I thought Cozy was about to close the gap and one-shot him. But no, Shmalup pulls up the Frostlance at the last second. The last millisecond, he gets the shot off and takes the dub. GG Shmalup. Shout out to everybody that came through to make stack solos on Chapter 1. Really fun. It was our last night to ever do it in stack solos on Chapter 1. So I really appreciate y'all coming through. I hope you had a good time. I will be live in the morning at like 10 a.m. So I will be live during the daytime. I will be live when Chapter 2 hits. I might be stacking some lobbies in Dominion. I don't know. But thank you guys so much for being here. Thanks for watching. I hope you have a wonderful night. I want to try to get some rest. And I'll see you guys back here in like 8 hours.